نخبدو طراي أيكون زنبر نخبدو طراي أيكون زنبر حسب على كقمة كذكر.
Greetings to everyone wherever you are. In today's episode, we would like to answer some of your questions. A person under the name Born Free asked the following questions. If you are talking about Eritrea to Eritreans, then why in English? What is the agenda here? Who are you and who do you represent? Our initial reaction to why in English was, why not? Our agenda or primary aim of the English episodes is twofold. Firstly, it is to reach out to Eritreans who do not speak or master Tigrinya. These include Eritreans who are born in the diaspora or those for whom Tigrinya is not their mother tongue. And we hope to stimulate dialogue, foster critical thinking, and build bridges of understanding and respect among Eritreans, irrespective of their political or religious beliefs or their backgrounds, as Fanus Network aims. Secondly, it is in response to our non-Eritrean friends who want to know and understand the political and economical situation of Eritrea. In short, we would like the whole world to pay heed to the Eritrean people's past proud struggles, current sufferings, and future hopes, as we understand them. The more people are aware and ask questions, the better it is. As for who we are just interested Eritreans who support the work of Fanus Network, and we represent no one but our dreams for an Eritrea ruled by law. Another person, known as Haki Yeser, asked several, in our view, important questions regarding the 1997 and 1952 constitutions. The first question is, how can we say that the 1997 constitution reflected more the views of EPLF rather than the people? The second question is whether, in our view, the 1997 constitution is not more appropriate or different from the 1952 constitution, while it took 3 years in the making and had broad consultations with the people. The third question is a very important one. What are the lessons for the future? On the first question, how can we say that the 1997 constitution reflected the view of the EPLF rather than the people? Here is our view. For start, Article 4.1, the Eritrean flag shall have green, red and blue colors with golden olive leaves, is the EPLF's flag with the yellow star replaced by golden olive branches. Moreover, in our last episode, we shared what Solomon Berhe wrote in Hadas, Eritrea, under the title, What Did the People Say? Amongst the suggestions were, how can the EPLF alone draft a constitution? Would the constitution not be better called a provisional constitution, since there were political parties that did not return to Eritrea yet? Our excellent customary laws should not be sidelined. And last but not least, should our national languages not be Arabic and Tigrinya, as it was during the Federation? The Eritrean Constitution of 1952 was drafted by UN experts, but an elected Eritrean assembly made up of different parties, namely 32 members of the Unionist Party, 16 from the Eritrean Democratic Party, 15 from the Western Lowlands Muslim League, and 2 independents, debated the constitution article by article and gave it its final shape. In spite of the interferences and pressures of the Ethiopian emperor and maneuvers of his supporters in the assembly, the constitution was a result of give and take. On the other hand, the 1997 constitution was drafted by a commission selected by an Eritrean assembly made of the EPLF and ratified by the same body. One can argue that the commission was composed of diverse segments of the Eritrean society in terms of gender, ages, ethnicity, and religion. However, it lacked the diversity of ideologies or ideas. Hence, in our opinion, it was a one-way road with no room for give and take, and that is why concerned Eritreans questioned the drafting of the constitution by the EPLF alone, instead of waiting until the other political parties returned home. It is true that the Commission took 3 years to complete its work, and it is also true that it conducted meetings with Eritreans at home and abroad. The question is, what changed in the draft as a result? We have not found a definite answer. Nonetheless, let's take some articles as examples to compare and judge for ourselves. Article 37 of the 1952 Constitution reads, "Property rights and rights of real nature, including those of state lands, established by custom or law and exercised in Eritrea by the tribes, the various population groups, and by natural or legal persons, shall not be impaired by any law of a discriminatory nature." Article 23 of the 1997 Constitution reads, Article 23(2), "All land and all natural resources below and above the surface of the territory of Eritrea belong to the state. The interests citizens shall have in land shall be determined by law." Article 23(3), "The state may, in the national or public interest, take property subject to the payment of just compensation and in accordance with due process of law." If you compare the two, the 1952 Eritrean Constitution gives the power to the people to manage their natural resources in accordance with their own customs and laws, as they have been doing it for ages. The 1997 Constitution, on the other hand, hands over the power to the state or government to do as it pleases, even snatching ancestral lands with an "in the national or public interest" excuse. Article 83 of the 1952 Constitution reads, Article 83(1), "The Constitution recognizes the existence of local communities." Article 83(2), "Municipalities shall be accorded the management of their own affairs." Article 83(3), "Officials responsible for the administration of village and tribal communities shall be selected from persons of those local communities." Article 1(5) of the 1997 Constitution states, "Eritrea is a unitary state divided into units of local government. The powers and duties of these units shall be determined by law." Article 24(1) reads, "Any person with an administrative question shall have the right to be heard respectfully by the administrative officials concerned and to receive quick and equitable answers from them. Which one do you think is more compatible with Eritreans communities' long-established customs and written or unwritten customary laws? Which is more appropriate, effective and efficient? Is it when communities manage their own affairs by village or tribal officials who are elected by the communities themselves in accordance with their own customs? Or by those sent by the central government who may have no clue about the culture and languages of the communities they are sent to? For example, the Afars managing their affairs themselves instead of someone sent from Asmara. Lastly, let us compare the articles on languages. The Eritrean Constitution of 1952, Article 38.1, states, Tigrinya and Arabic shall be the official languages of Eritrea. And Article 38.2, in accordance with established practice in Eritrea, the languages spoken and written by the various population groups shall be permitted to be used in dealing with the public authorities, as well as for religious or educational purposes and for all forms of expression of ideas. The Eritrean Constitution of 1997, Article 4.3, states, the equality of all Eritrean languages is guaranteed. Mr. Alem Seget Tesfaye, in his book Federation Eritrea with Ethiopia, From Matenzo to Tedla, 1951-1955, informed us that the Article 38 of the 1952 Eritrean Constitution was the result of spirited debate of various opinions. From then on, until the Amharic language was imposed on Eritreans, Tigrinya and Arabic served as official languages. The 1997 Constitution states the equality of all Eritrean languages is guaranteed. What does it mean, and what mechanisms were put in place in the Constitution to guarantee the equality of minority languages like Afar, Nara or Bija with the languages of the majority Tigrinya or Tigre? It is difficult to understand why the Constitution Commission chose to fix something that was not broken. The last question is, the past is the past. What are the lessons for the future? It is wise to use the past to draw lessons for the present and the future. We will share our views in this regard, and we hope you will also do the same. First of all, we must recognize that the Eritrean people have customs and written and unwritten laws that have served them well for many generations. They governed themselves so well that they were not even interfered with by the colonizers. The problem in this regard came from the liberation fronts, which roamed the villages, and later from the PFDJ's rulers. Article 37 and Article 83 of the 1952 Constitution reaffirmed the importance of the people's customs and laws in managing themselves. The 1997 Constitution, however, put the power in the hands of the state. The lessons in this regard are, first, do not change something that has worked well for generations. In other words, don't fix what is not broken. Secondly, a constitution, when based on the knowledge, wisdom, and experiences of the people, can be more appropriate and easier applicable. Thirdly, there is no need for reinventing the wheel when it comes to the constitution. What we need most is a representative government, one that represents all Eritreans. Then our representatives can start with what we have and merge the appropriate of the two constitution documents with the consultation of the people. In conclusion, as laypersons, we found the 1952 Constitution easy to understand. Its emphasis was at the community level for the governance of the community, by the community and for the community, with their own customs and laws. While the 1997 Constitution puts the state at the center of the stage. Nonetheless, both constitutions were similar in terms of safeguarding human and democratic rights and freedoms, and in the definition of the separations, authorities, and responsibilities of the three pillars of the government. At the end, we like to emphasize that our problem is not that we do not have constitutions, but that none are implemented. A constitution that is put into practice can be evaluated in the process and can be modified. Thank you for listening, and we hope to read your ideas and comments.
على ما يتكبر راين بينخا راين خبخا فتولد كلخا ببزح سببا